I think I've got enough time to tell y'all a story. Let's see if I can talk and play at the same time. Have you ever heard the story of the purple flower? If not, well, you're about to. It goes something like this. Little Timmy got up for school one day, has breakfast, gets his clothes on, brushes his teeth, gives his mom a hug, and out the door he goes. He's walking to school, and little Timmy comes across a stranger, and, we don't talk to strangers, but this stranger talked to him. The stranger says, "Hey, kid, what's a purple flower?" Kid says, "I don't know, I'm not supposed to talk to adults, but I don't know what a purple flower is. I don't know even who to ask. I ain't never seen a purple flower. I ain't never heard of a purple flower. You're talking nonsense." So little Timmy runs to school, kind of half panicking because that was just the weirdest encounter he ever did encounter. So, sits down at his desk, and that man's question was just bothering him. What is a purple flower? I've got to know. So he asks his teacher, raises his hand. "Excuse me, Miss Teacher, what's a purple flower?" She was immediately irate. This is little Timmy. "Where on earth did you hear that phrase? And why would you say such a thing in my classroom?" Little Timmy tells her, "Well, I was getting ready for school. Had my breakfast, put my clothes on, give my mom a hug and a kiss goodbye, and out the door I went. Came across a stranger, and we're not supposed to talk to strangers, but he talked to me, and he asked me what a purple flower was, so I ran all the way to school. It scared me. I ain't never heard of a purple flower. Then once I got settled in, I thought I'd ask you." Teacher says, "Little Timmy, you should know better. Go to the principal's office." "But Teach, No, little Timmy, go to the principal's office." So little Timmy hangs his head, begrudgingly makes his way to the principal's office. Principal Thompson asked little Timmy, "What's gotten into you? Your teacher, she said you've done one of the worst things imaginable, and you're just not that kind of student. The only time you've been in here is to get an award. I don't think you've even been in trouble once in class." Little Timmy says, "Well, it all started this morning. I was getting ready for school, got my clothes on, had breakfast, went and brushed my teeth, gave my mom a hug and a kiss goodbye, and out the door I went. Was walking to school and came across a stranger. I know we're not supposed to talk to strangers, but this man asked me, 'What's a purple flower?' And I said, 'I ain't never heard of a purple flower, ain't never seen one either.' So I took off and running. And I got to my classroom, got settled in, and asked my teacher, 'Hey, Teach, what's a purple flower?' And she was just so upset with me, she sent me up here. 'Mr. Principal, what is a purple flower? What is going on?' Principal says, 'Well, little Timmy, I've never been so offended in my life. I can't believe you'd even mention that here I'm going to call your parents. I'm going to make sure your dad comes to get you. Little Timmy's kind of scared. He never been in trouble before. Certainly not in trouble with Dad. So Mr. Principal has him just sit right there on that bench in his office until his dad comes. And everything imaginable about what his dad is about to say is going through little Timmy's head. Am I going to get yelled at? Am I going to be grounded? Am I going to be grounded for the rest of my life? Well, a few minutes later, little Timmy's dad shows up. He left work to come get him early. And he was not happy. Little Timmy's dad asks, Timmy, what have you done? Their principal called sounding very, very upset. And you've never been in trouble your whole life. So I don't know what you've gotten into, but you need to think long and hard about it, son. Because it might just change how your life is going to go from here on out. So little Timmy says, well, it all started this morning. I was getting ready for school, got my clothes on, had breakfast, brushed my teeth, gave Mom a hug and a kiss goodbye, and walked out the door to walk my way to school. And I know we're not supposed to talk to strangers, but I didn't talk to him, he talked to me. Came across a stranger, and he asked me what a purple flower was, and I told him I don't know. I ain't never seen a purple flower, ain't never heard of it. I don't know what a purple flower is, so I took off running. I got to school, got settled in, and it was just bothering me. What is a purple flower? So, I raised my hand and asked my teacher, hey teacher, what's a purple flower? And she got all kinds of upset with me. She got irate. She sent me to the principal's office. So then, the principal says, son, you've never been in trouble your whole life, and I've never seen you in here for anything bad. What's gotten into you? So I told him what happened. And I asked him, Mr. Principal, what's a purple flower? And he got upset when he called you. Dad, what is a purple flower? I've got to know. Dad becomes very, very angry. Says, little Timmy, that's it. That's the last straw. You're kicked out. Don't you come home. You're kicked out of school. Don't you come back to school. I don't ever want to see you again. Take your stuff, get out. So little Timmy's shocked. He knew Dad was going to be mad. He didn't know he'd be that mad. So, little Timmy grabs the stuff and hits the road. He's got his backpack on a stick, slung over his shoulder, kicking a can on down the street. And of course, any other kid his age should be in school right now. First person little Timmy came across was a friendly neighborhood police officer. The officer says, hey Timmy, you look like you run away. Why are you out of school right now? Do I need to give you a ride home or something? Little Timmy says, oh no. Let me tell you what happened, friendly officer. It all started this morning. I got up, got out of bed, got my clothes on, started getting ready for school. Had breakfast, brushed my teeth, gave my mom a hug and a kiss, told her goodbye, and out the door I went to go walk myself to school. And came across a stranger, and I know I ain't supposed to talk to strangers, but he talked to me. He says, "Hey kid, what's a purple flower?" And I told the man, "I don't know. I ain't never seen a purple flower. Ain't never heard of one either." And it scared me. It really bothered me what he asked. So I ran. I ran all the way to school. And I got to school, got settled in. And it was just bothering me. Strange man asking even more strange questions. So I raised my hand and asked my teacher, "Miss Teacher, what's a purple flower?" And she got irate and sent me to the principal's office. I get to the principal's office. Principal tells me, "I ain't never seen you in here for anything bad before. What's gotten into you?" I told him what happened, and still bothering me because I still ain't never heard of a purple flower, and I just got to know. So I asked my principal, "Hey principal, what is a purple flower?" My principal got angry. He called my dad. And I waited and waited, and finally Dad showed up. And Dad was upset. He said, "Son, what's going on? You never been in trouble your whole life, and here you are in the principal's office, and he sounds really upset." I told my dad what happened. And then I asked my dad. I said, "Dad, this is really bothering me. I've got to know. What is a purple flower?" And my dad got upset. He kicked me out of the house. Police officer, he got upset. He says, "Little Timmy, I've never heard somebody do something like this my entire career. You're going straight to prison." He handcuffs little Timmy, takes his tail straight to the penitentiary. And little Timmy, he got stuck in solitary confinement for years. He didn't think he was ever getting out. Finally, he got a cellmate. He got put in the public chambers for good behavior. First night, his cellmate asked, "Hey, what are you in for?" So, little Timmy hangs his head, says, "I got to start at the beginning." One day, a long time ago, I got up out of bed to get ready for school. Got my clothes on, had breakfast, brushed my teeth, gave my mom a hug and a kiss, told her goodbye, started walking myself to school. And I was a kid, and I ain't supposed to talk to strangers. Sure enough, stranger showed up on my way to school. I didn't talk to him, he talked to me. He says, "Hey kid, what's a purple flower?" And I told that stranger, I ain't never heard of a purple flower. I ain't never seen one, I don't know what it is. And man, it really bothered me what he asked. So I ran all the way to school. I get to school, I get settled in, and first thing I do is ask my teacher, "Hey teacher, what's a purple flower?" And boy, did she get irate. She was upset with me. Told me I'd never been in trouble there my whole life. Wanted to know what had gotten into me and sent me to the principal's office. So I get to Mr. Principal. Mr. Principal's upset. Says, Timmy, you never been in trouble here. The only time I've seen you is to give you an award. What is going on? So I told my principal what happened. And I had to know. I'm just dying to know. What is a purple flower, Mr. Principal? What is it? It's bothering me. I've got to know. Principal, he got upset. He was more angry than I've ever seen a principal get in my life. And he says, little Timmy, I can't believe you'd do something like that. I'm calling your dad. So he calls my dad. And I wait, and finally Dad gets there. And Dad is upset. More upset than I thought was even humanly possible. And Dad says, Timmy, you ain't never been in trouble before your whole life, and here you are in the principal's office, and your principal is angry. What on earth did you do? Told my dad what happened. Dad got angry and upset, and he kicked me out of the house. Told me he never wants to see my face again. So, out the door I went. I was on the street. First person I come across is our friendly police officer. And he's wanting to know why I wasn't in school. So I told the police officer what happened. It's still bothering me. And I said, police officer, I've got to know, what is a purple flower? It's killing me. I've got to know, what is it? And that police officer was so upset, he took me straight to prison. His cellmate said, I can't believe this. I'm in prison and I've never been so offended in my life. So he up and killed little Timmy. And the moral of the story is eating Cheerios every day for breakfast can help reduce your cholesterol by 30%.